It was no accident, I think, that when I first went to Germany in the post-war years and started interviewing all these top people, Otto Günscher, for example, the man who burned Hitler's body, he was a former SS man. The SS people were the elite. They automatically rose to the top. And that is something that the people who are outside this elite have not been able to understand.
I have been thinking about David Irving's comments on the SS and how they were prominent among the elite in Germany in the 1960s. This got me thinking that there must have been an SS deep state in Germany at that time. They might not have been in government, but we have seen lately how industry and multinationals, not government, tend to dictate policy. If it existed in the 1960s, then it must surely still exist to some degree today. If the SS occupied the top positions, then they controlled who else got into top positions, and they would have been able to select for people like themselves. We can extend this. Spain must have had a fascist deep state in the Franco years. Italy one in the Mussolini years. In fact, Italy definitely had a right-wing deep state well into the 1980s. If these factions of the elite exist, then why haven't they done anything to fight globo homo? I believe that there are two reasons. The first is that if they try to fight back too early, then they will be engulfed by the other elite factions. Globalization, mass immigration, degeneracy, etc. must benefit the elite, or else they would not push it. If this SS faction takes a stand against it, then they take a stand against the interests of the other factions, and will be crushed. They must wait until they are big and powerful enough to hold out. Meanwhile, in order to grow in power, they must continue to push everything that makes nations weak. Secondly, there is no rush. COVID has just shown us that globalist institutions like the World Health Organization and Big Pharma can control whole populations. COVID has also shown that whole populations will simply do as they are told, no matter what. There will never be a point where action by the elite is too drastic, too extreme for the public. Thus, the SS faction can allow Germany to be 50%, 40%, 20% ethnic German, and then suddenly evict the non-Germans and arrange for other countries to take the deportees. They could change 100 years of demographic change in a matter of a few years of priming via the media and pundits, a fake crisis to justify the response, willful disregard of any other simpler responses, silencing of anyone who speaks out, rushing the response through using emergency powers, letting people complain afterwards when it is too late. Of course, we must not assume that they are there, waiting to ride to our rescue. We must keep acting as though they are not there, but I am hopeful that there are friendly factions among the elite, and that they can turn everything around when the time comes.